What's up, Leafs fans? Welcome back to Leafs Digest. Before I dive into this video, I want to take the time to remind everybody to hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers here at Leafs Digest. We've been absolutely flying there, and the community support that we've received along the way has been absolutely incredible. We appreciate every single one of you who subscribe, watch these videos, like, comment, participate in everything. So thank you guys so much for that. Now, moving on. It is NHL All-Star Weekend, and that means one thing. We are a lot closer to the NHL trade deadline, and although there is a lot of speculation about who the Leafs are interested in, who they might be targeting, what guys would fit on this team, and what pieces we could possibly give up to go out and acquire those types of players, there's one guy within this Leafs organization playing here right now that I think might be due for a certain type of promotion within the organization that actually could help this Leafs team and maybe make it a little bit easier for us come trade deadline time and make it so that we don't have to go out there and look for as big of a piece as we might be looking at right now. That guy who could be due for this promotion is none other than Rasmus Sandin. Sandin is a 21 years old, 5'11", 180-pound defenseman. He's left-handed. He plays the left side, and to this point, he's been slotted in on the 5-6 slot on the third D pairing, usually playing alongside Timothy Liljegren or Travis Dermott when he gets into the lineup. But with Sandin's emerging play, how good he's been playing lately, how much more he's contributing into the offense, how many more chances he's creating, and his elevated defensive play, it's time to start wondering, is Rasmus Sandin ready to join the top four of this Toronto Maple Leafs D-core? When you look at the roster, when you look at the way things are built out, there's one obvious, maybe this won't work. He's a left-handed defenseman. You look at the top four right now, you've got Riley, Brody, Muzzin, Hall. 3 left-handed, 1 right-handed. He's obviously a much better defenseman than Justin Hall. He's played more games this season. He's been more relied upon. He gets in more important situations. He can play the power play. He can play the penalty kill. He can play later in games. He's physical. But he's been slotted in the third D pairing, and he hasn't been playing with quote-unquote favorable D partners. Now, this is one thing we've looked at, and we've said maybe if you can go out and you can get this guy, an incredible guy to play alongside him, then he doesn't need to move up in this lineup. Maybe him and his new D partner and Hall and Muzzin can kind of play equal minutes and they balance out depending on who's going that night. It would be a little more comfortable feeling than him going into the playoffs playing with Liljegren or Dermott. Now, where I'm getting at with this one and wondering if it's time to upgrade him, move him into the top four, is to see who he truly is as a defenseman moving forward. He's in the final year of his entry-level contract. He will be a RFA at the end of this season, needing to be re-signed. He's only played 38 games this season, but he was drafted in 2018, and he's been a part of this organization for a long time. Now, mind you, he has 1 goal, 9 assists, 10 points this season. He is a +7 on the year. And he's become a more important player, a guy that we look at every night and go, yep, he's having a good night. He's doing good things. He's a guy who's more dependable. We know we can put him in late situations. Now, if we can move him up, it might be time to try this and see what he can do in top 4 minutes. A young guy, a less experienced guy, holding a larger share of minutes on a nightly basis could impact him in a variety of ways. Fatigue could play in. The fact that he's going to be playing against top talent more per night could play a part. But we don't know that until we try it and we see what happens. I personally think he's ready for this top 4. I think he's been ready over the last 10 to 15 games, the way he's stepped up, the way he's played, the way he's contributed more. And I think last year in the playoffs, we really got to see a side of him that we hadn't yet seen as Leafs fans and had us salivating a little bit over the summer going into this season. Last season, he stepped up and he was playing second power play minutes in the playoffs. He was playing physical. He wasn't afraid. He was taking chances, and he wasn't really making that many mistakes. He's kind of carried that over. There was a little bit of a lull at the beginning of the season where you go, okay, what is he going to do? Can he get this done? Can he get to where he was in the playoffs? He's got there. He's kind of figured out the consistency of playing in the NHL on a nightly basis so far this season, and he's getting into the rhythm of things, learning how to be an NHL player. I do truly think it's time we push him up and see what he can do in the top 4 of this Leafs team. Now, how this works, I'm not entirely sure. I have some ideas. I will pitch them to you guys. If you don't like them, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like this video as well. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, hit that subscribe button. You guys will help us a long way. I did say too, I will grow my hair out into the playoffs. If we hit 2,000 subscribers before the beginning of the playoffs, I'll go mullet for the playoffs. Maybe we'll get Josh on board too. I'm not sure. I'm kind of just volunteering him for that one, but hey, that is my proposal if we hit 2,000 subscribers before the playoffs. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you think about this. This is my suggestion for what we do with Rasmus Sandin. Before Jake Muzzin comes back, I think we need to try him as the left-handed shot in the top 4 playing with Justin Holl. See what he can do playing heavier minutes every single night. See what he can do playing a more important role. Once we've determined that and we've pumped these minutes into him, then it's time to determine when Muzzin comes back, can he continue to do this? I think he can. I think throughout this portion, he's proved he can do it. He's proved he can hold up in heavier minutes. What will be the cause of determining whether or not he can fit is how he fits with Jake Muzzin. I know it's a weird thing to look at and go, Hall and Muzzin were good last year. They were looked good before. It just hasn't been working out this year. Hall has kind of been bringing down Muzzin. Muzzin is bringing down Hall. It's a bad combination of things. We don't know if we can rely on this to this point. If we slide Sandin into that top 4 with Muzzin, we try him on the right side, playing his offside of the ice. Lots of young defensemen can be put into situations where they're uncomfortable with playing larger minutes, playing against tougher opponents. You don't really know how they're going to react, but how is he going to react to playing the offside? We kind of need to figure that out. We don't know what he's like in a game situation on the wrong side. With this Leafs team comfortably in a playoff position, it is now more than ever the opportunity to see what he can do risk-free. Of course, you want to win games every single night. I understand that, but it's not the most important to be grabbing all of those points at this time. If you're missing a couple here and there, we are comfortably in a playoff position. Try some things out. Things have been tried on the forward side. We've put the lines into the blenders. We've tried different combinations. What could work there? When you look at Rasmus Sandin, what he did in the playoffs last year, what he's done throughout the regular season this year, even in the playoffs last year, taking over power play 1 from Morgan Rielly when things weren't going well, we've seen he's able to rise to the occasion. Now, can he take this to the next level? This is what we need to find out. I think that if he tries the right side with Muzzin and it doesn't work, before you determine, nope, he's not a top 4, you switch them again. And I know this is just a hypothetical and we're talking about what could happen, what do we think should happen. And again, if you guys disagree, let me know in the comments below. But my thought on it would be try him on the wrong side because Muzzin has played a much longer time on the left side. Figure out if Sandin can play the off. If he can't, switch it, try it that way first before you demote him. Because ultimately, the point of what I'm getting at here is Sandin is an upgrade over Hall, Dermott, Liljegren. He's better than those 3 guys, and if you can have him comfortably sitting in your top 4, playing more minutes night in, night out, it may help Justin Holl, and it may elevate this Leafs team. It also may alleviate the pressure off management going into the trade deadline here about who and what we need to acquire at the deadline to up this Leafs defensive core, because that at this point is priority number 1. If he can play the offside, perfect situation. Maybe he can bring up Muzzin's game a little bit. If not, maybe we switch Muzzin over and maybe he can start to figure some things out on the right side, playing a different role than he has to play with Hall. Hall is the defensive defenseman of that pairing. That's typically Muzzin's role. Muzzin is the calming influence. He holds the ground. He keeps things sane. He keeps things in order out there. If Sandin goes, Muzzin can go back to that rather than having to carry Hall. Sandin is a confident, a skilled, a comfortable enough player to be able to do things on his own, to be able to experiment, to try things, to create offense. Jake Muzzin can take some of that pressure off his shoulders, hand it to Rasmus Sandin, and just focus on playing defensive, playing physical, being big, mean, and strong. Maybe this could bring Jake Muzzin back to where he was last season. Leafs fans, this is all hypotheticals. We're just talking. What could happen? Is Rasmus Sandin ready for the top 4? I believe he is, and I think it's time more than ever to try things out and determine if he can or cannot hold up under the pressure of an elevated workload that he would be experiencing in the top 4 playing against tougher competition. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Leafs fans, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, and as always, we greatly appreciate all the support you guys have given, and as I said, growing my hair out to the playoffs. When the Leafs are in the playoffs, if we get to 2,000 subs before the playoffs, I will go mullet. Maybe we'll get Josh on board too. But hey, if you guys want to see the mullets, get us to 2,000 subs. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Leafs fans, thank you guys so much for the support. Keep believing.